Driving a tractor, climbing a tree, you can find it all at Cotton Top 3.
Alright, so y'all are in a treat today. If y'all are into metalworking, CNC machines, stuff like that, some of y'all probably know who KeyBar is. Y'all probably follow him on Instagram. Mike has over 151,000 followers on Instagram. He has built this entire business off of Instagram. I contacted Mike, reached out to him. I'm down in Savannah, Georgia today. We're fixing to get a behind the scenes tour through KeyBar. If you're an EDC freak like I am, an everyday carry, pocket knives, all kind of flashlights, tactical stuff, things like that, stay tuned. You're fixing to really enjoy this right here. We're going to take y'all behind the scenes and the inner workings, and you're going to get to see Mike and see some really cool machines. All right, so here he is right here. I'm with Mike Taylor.
That's me.
You're the man with the plan with KeyBar. Just kind of give you a brief glimpse and we'll let him talk. I have followed you for quite a while on Instagram. And you have built this business on Instagram.
Yeah, pretty much 100%.
So give us a little background. Tell us what you used to do before you did this.
All right. So yeah, I used to work as a hotel maintenance engineer. So basically I was a guy that fixed stuff at hotels, and I did that for 14 years. And I ran some really nice hotels in downtown Savannah, and it was a career. I mean, it was, you know, it was hard to walk away from, but I made a key holder, right?
Yeah, pull a couple of them out. Let's kind of go through a couple of the stages here.
So, what happened? It all started from Knife Thursday. You probably aren't even familiar with Knife Thursday.
No,
Okay, so Knife Thursday was before Instagram, and it was a place for you to send a picture in, and they would upload it to a blog of your knife and your EDC gear, right? It was like before the hand dump thing was even a thing. So you'd send it to this website, and they'd post it. And you could go to this website called Knife Thursday, and every Thursday it would be all these custom knives, and you get to see different gear, right? Well, then Instagram came, and it was a total game changer, right? So, Knife Thursday, they used to have contests, and you would upload a picture or a video, and you in every month they would give away like this $500 knife, and that was kind of the thing to get you to do it, right? Is you had a chance to win this knife. Well, one year, it was October, around this time, and they had cut, gut, carve contest. They wanted you to cut a pumpkin up and show the knife you did it with. Well, I did it underwater scuba diving, and I won like all the contests, like $6 grand worth of knives, and a trip to Blade Show to meet the guys and everything. So I went to Blade Show. Now again, all I had was a buck 110. I mean, it was it wasn't even like I had anything special. It was literally my dad's buck 110 he gave me, and that's all I had. I didn't know about all these fancy knife makers, CNC machines at the time and stuff. And so I go to Blade Show, and I'm introduced to knives, right? You mentioned Blade Show a little while ago.
Right.
That's kind of where you were introduced to all this and this EDC gear.
Let me stop for just a second. Blade Show is the biggest knife show there is.
It is.
And it's held right there in Smyrna, Georgia, every year, 1st of June. I've been to it.
It is amazing.
If you like knives and stuff like that.
It's the outdoor.
Because it's more than knives.
It's more than knives.
It's
so much more than knives now. But it started with handmade knives.
Yes.
And
great platform for you.
Yes. And like you said, it's the world's largest knife show. I mean, it's like SHOT Show and knives. It's really awesome.
It's got so big they've moved it to the West Coast now too in the fall.
Yep, they have one in Oregon now. They just had it.
That's right.
So at that show, somebody gave me, or through the whatever, I got some material, brought it home from the show, and it was G10 micarta. Never heard of this stuff before.
Yeah.
And I went home, and I didn't know how to make a knife, and I didn't have grinders to make a knife, and I didn't have steel and none of that, but I bought some of this micarta stuff, and I had all these keys, and I'm like, hey, I can make a key holder and make it look like a knife kind of, and flip your keys out.
Right.
And so I made one, and then I made another one, and then this is the actual one I made and carried for like 6 months. I made the pocket clip out of a hacksaw blade, and then everybody was like, hey, that's cool. make me one. And
that's where it all went.
so, yeah.
So what a KeyBar is, people, is basically a pocket knife for your keys. Right there's one right there. He's got it on his pocket.
Actually,
and he's got all this, I've watched this stuff evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You got combs, you got picks, you got tweezers, you got the magnets right there.
What's really cool, and it's kind of the whole story. So it continues after that. We went. I was in my garage, right? Still made one of these. Everybody's like, make me one, make me one, make me one. There was no way to do that efficiently and sell it, right? So I went to a local machine shop and I said, hey, I need to cut this shape out with a Waterjet. And or I asked him what would be the most efficient way to cut this shape. I didn't know what a Waterjet was, right?
Sure.
And so he's like, you need a Waterjet to cut this out. And so I got him Waterjet and I screwed them all together and I sold them. And I sold them faster than I could get them made.
And you're basically, other than the Waterjet, you were hand doing everything else, killing yourself.
I was literally taping my fingers at night with duct tape because I was grinding so much and it was blistering. It was really hard, and this was after work.
Yes.
This was and then you wake up and go to work the next day.
Yeah.
So that lasted about 6 months, man, and that's what I kept complaining to my wife, complaining and complaining. I was like, I just want to quit that job. I'm making more at home than I am at that job and it was a career though. It was really hard to just walk away from, right? And it was guaranteed money, right? And so health insurance, all that stuff, right? And company cell phone, like you're gonna just walk away to make a key holder, like in your garage. And so she's like, she got sick of it one day. She's like, just quit. And so I went the next day and I quit. And I did more money the rest of that month
doing this right here,
making key holders in my garage, doing something I loved. And it was, I had an awesome product. I had an awesome following. Instagram was new. We were growing awesome. You mentioned Instagram.
151,000 followers. On
started with one though, right?
That's right. Everybody, that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
Like me with YouTube, we all started with one. When you click on Instagram, this is the cat you're going to see on it. Your little short, quick videos.
Yep. I'm
not getting anything from Mike. He didn't offer for me to come up here. I had waited for my channel to get big enough, and I felt like when I was at 50K, I'd been down here to Savannah several times in 2015, and I knew you were here, but so I was like, about a month ago, I was like, okay, here we go. We're going for broke. I'm fixing to contact this cat and just see if he'll even talk to me. So I shot you an email, and I mean, man, you responded right back, and I told you what I was wanting to do and the dates, possibility.
Yeah, man.
And you were like, come on. And so that's what you're talking about, the variety.
Exactly.
That is what has made Cotton Top 3 what it is. I love getting out with people like you, the self-made success stories, the Jarrett's that I sent you the video on.
I mean,
great video.
That was an awesome
There's
video.
a lot of other people. I mean, Daniel Defense. We're going to take y'all through this shop. How many Hoss machines do you
We just got one.
Just
Hoss.
a one, but
That's
you got
right.
a big boy though.
We got the big one.
We got a big one.
And
Go ahead and tell us a number on it.
So that was it's a Hoss VF4 Super Speed.
Super Speed.
Super Speed. So
And then
we're looking at adding more vertical machines.
Yes.
And then we're looking down the road at a lathe, but
you got the laser stuff going on too, man.
Lasers. Now we do really good work with laser engraving. We were one of the first companies to really get into the decorative side of laser engraving.
We're fixing to go in the back and just kind of look around. He's got some stuff. I asked him if he could run some stuff and things like that. So we're just going to see whatever he has to offer for me to film right quick. That's what we're going to do.
So yeah, we make our own stickers and pretty much print everything. We've tried to bring everything we do in-house. The only thing we outsource now are our screws and like bags and stuff. Sticker machine. Like I was paying somebody to make stickers and I wanted 10 different colored stickers, and I called the guy. I was like, I need 50 different color stickers, and he's like, man, that's going to take me 2 months. And I was like, no, I want it now. And so I bought a sticker machine, and now I can give them away to customers. So every order we throw stickers in.
Yep.
Yeah, these are our new equator belts. So these are about to go up on Kickstarter. Yeah. So what we got here is really thin, low profile buckle, and you have 2 magnets on each side, and then there's a mechanical pin lock, so that pin drops into that hole. The magnets just hold it together. Yeah, and so it's adjustable, and We got them in black, and we're gonna do laser engraving options. But what's neat about that is like the color options, you know. So we're gonna start a circle, and you haven't been through here, so.
Look at the bearings in that thing. That's crazy. That thing just spins.
We actually went through like 20 different bearings to find one, and they're called fast as hell skateboard bearings, and that's what
that's
it
what it is.
All these kids asking me to make a fidget spinner when it was really popular a year ago, and I had my Colt Python sitting on my desk, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna make a fidget spinner for adults, and so I made it kind of to replicate my Colt Python.
There you go. Just a simple idea.
So you're a firearm guy.
That's right.
Okay, yes. So he wants to play now. So basically we took a quick detach sling mount and we gutted it, and you can now hang your firearm from this little cube, release it by the pull of the trigger. It's called a trigger cube. Cool little super slim deal, and I don't have my rifle here right now, but basically you just grab your rifle, one hand, pull it right off.
Yep.
So we also took and made some mag nuts. We took our magnetic clasp and made the same locking, or female part for the trigger cube, and now you can hang basically anything off of, and you have a really secure military style mount. So yeah, man, this is my Haas VF4 Super Speed. When I was looking at CNC machines, USA made Haas was the only way to go, and the support was awesome. We went with the big one. I wanted the small one, man, and they were like, no, man, you don't want the small one, you get the big one. And so thank God I did, and we really love this machine.
How long have you had this one?
I've had it about...
Was it about a year or so?
I had it about 3 years now.
Got about 3 years,
yeah.
Okay, so you've had it longer than what I thought then.
Yeah, it's running. We got a lot of spindle hours on it. I don't even know, a lot, and we made a lot of key bars in this machine and a lot of other cool stuff. And what's awesome about CNC machines though is you can learn from YouTube. When I bought this machine, I had zero experience. I literally had the guy deliver it and say nothing. They drop a machine off with a truck, and you watch YouTube. So I went on YouTube, and there's a couple great channels out there, man. We actually use Fusion 360. Anybody watching can download it for free. It's a CAD CAM software program. That's all we use in this shop, and it does 5-axis, it does probing, it does everything.
Wow.
And it's really awesome. It's an Autodesk product. When you make money with it, you have to buy it, and it's still very cheap, but just to learn, it's free, which is awesome. And then we got an orange vise. Love orange vise. If anybody's wanting to get into machining, even if you're running Tormox, and you can afford it, man, an orange vise is the way to go. It's got dual, right now we have it set up with a pallet system, but dual vices. Really awesome vise.
So this is where all the polishing is.
We call it the dirty room.
The dirty room. I can tell.
It's dirty. So grinding, all your finishing. So these are milled titanium pocket clips. They all get hand finished. Yeah, so a lot of finishing sandblasters. We have automatic sandblasters that'll just sit there. This one's pretty neat. We actually, when we send stuff off for anodizing aluminum, you want that really bright but sandblasted finish, but you don't want it matte, right? You want it kind of bright. So if you notice like a Chinese made flashlight, they're bright but they're matte. Well, that's because they're using, we figured out what they use. They use zirconium bead.
The cool thing about what you do is this right here, made in the USA.
Yeah.
But it's handmade. Yeah. A lot of handwork goes into these things.
And we try to buy American-made equipment, like our CNC machines. That's kind of the pre-stage to that. This is a tumbler, again made in Pennsylvania.
I've seen it on some of your videos right there.
So what's neat about this one is it has a separator. So what it is think of a rock tumbler when you were a kid, that little thing that spins with the rocks in it.
Polish it.
It's 100% what this does. I'm going to cut it on really low here. Okay. And so it just vibrates the rocks, and and we turn it up a lot higher than that. But it vibrates the rocks in your parts and it rounds the edges and makes them all smooth. And when you're done, you lower the flap. So this flap here will lower down the media, and we have to turn it up a little bit. So I'm going to cut it off there. So what will happen is your media will come up here, the media falls through,
and your parts are right there.
Your parts come out and they fall into your bucket, and while that's running, you have your lid down that's got acoustic foam all inside of it.
So you don't hear it in here.
And so we'll cut it back on here. You just heard it a second ago. And it really just like muffles it and it goes away. You don't even hear it running in the background.
Wow.
These are our soap dishes. So these got to be finished, and the tumbler there. But what we did was we wanted a nice desk tray to throw your stuff in. We have leather inserts that go in there. So we have black or brown, and you put a leather insert, or you can, like you said, you can get a logo in there. We can laser the leather.
9
we
millimeters.
Get bullets.
9 millimeters
yeah,
go
9
right there.
9 millimeters fit right in there.
For the people who don't know what a water jet is, just briefly tell us what it is so everybody will know.
All right, man. So this is a water jet. This one just happens to be made by Ward Waterjet. So what we're doing, and if you kind of want to give them an idea of what this is a big box, right? So this one's fancy. It's got doors and stuff on it. Most of them you see won't have an enclosure around them. But inside here, this is our controller on the left. This is what we operate the machine with. I'm going to move this out the way. Okay. So what we have here is a big tank full of water, and the water does nothing but catch the sand and water that we're cutting with. Now, grab my.
And this is where the rubber ducky stays in here.
Yeah, my rubber ducks are in there floating around. So what we have is a 30 thousandths hole. So a human hair is 5 thousandths, if that gives you any reference.
Very small.
Very small. So it takes 60,000 psi. So over here we have a 30 horsepower pump.
So there's the heart of the beast right there.
So we have a 30 horsepower pump.
Look at that motor.
Okay, so that motor, all that motor does
is run the pump.
Is run a piston. So inside here there's a ceramic piston. There's rods on both sides. So think of a piston with 2 rods on it. It's got hydraulic lines. That pump is running hydraulic fluid through those lines. All it's doing is pumping 30 horsepower into each side to slam that piston up against a little piece of water. Now, the water's coming in, low pressure, and it's getting shot out of this hose at 60,000 psi.
That's big boy stuff.
It's a 20-to-1 compression, if anybody's really curious. It's a 21 to compression on the piston. Comes out at 60,000. We're losing a little bit because of atmosphere in line. Let's just say 50,000 psi.
It's enough to cut your arm off pretty quick, right?
It's enough to cut through 7 inches of steel or anything you put in front of it right in half.
7 inches thick now.
Steel. I mean, we're not cutting with water. That's the misconception. It's called a water jet. What we're doing is in that nozzle, we're putting 60,000 psi through it, right? But right above it, let me move this over and actually show you what it's doing. We have a line feeding this. We have 80 grit garnet, or stone.
It's basically like a media is what it is.
It's 80 grit stone, really tiny, very fine. It's called garnet. So when this water rushes through this head, there's a Venturi valve in there. And a Venturi valve is sucking the sand into the water stream. We are actually abrasive removing material. So we're cutting with sand by pushing it out the way, right? So the water is just a carrier of the sand. Without the sand, it does not cut. All right, so this is our Blister Pack machine. So if you've ever walked into a gun store or something somewhere and seen our stuff hanging on the shelf, again, we do that 100% in-house. So I bought a USA-made machine from California. It's called Power Pack, and it's the only one I could find in the States, which is It's really awesome, really good company. But we got these packs, and what it does is basically has a heat press in there and a timer, and it heats the plate up. Air pressure pushes a ram down, so you would fill it up and step on the pedal. So we have two 50-watt fiber laser engravers. They'll pretty much, again, cut through anything. It's how long you want to let it run.
So you can instantly touch it then.
Depends where you touch it. Alright, try not to do it, so gotta be quick with it.
That's cool.
But you get the idea. The
Yes.
part needs to be clean, and what you'll end up with is really bright, awesome colors depending on what voltage you use.
That's quick.
Alright, so what we got there, and actually our part wasn't totally square in there.
But you get the idea. Hold it on
But
down.
you get the idea,
That's
yeah.
right.
And let's
Very cool. Very cool.
pretty good.
That is cool as can be. That's sharp. A lot of people, they see things, and I see things, you see things, and you think, well, there's nothing else that can be done. Everybody's done everything, you know, self-made stuff, but there's always room.
Right.
And you're a perfect example of...
I don't see things like that.
Right.
There's always ways to improve.
Yep.
And if I totally, sorry to interrupt you, I totally get where you're going with
Yes,
that.
I'm talking about as far as like doing something and being successful at it.
Right.
You know.
Yes. So if you care about what you're doing and you have a passion for it, you're gonna commit 100% to it. If that makes sense, right?
Right.
You're gonna care about what you're doing.
Correct.
It doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as you put 100% of your effort into it and you care about it and you do it to the best of your ability, somebody's going to support you. Somebody.
Correct.
And I mean, because if you put 100% in, you're going to get something back. And that's the way I feel. And then as far as makers and designing new stuff, if you see something cool you like, I mean, that's if you like pins, there's always a new mechanism for a pin to apply.
Sure.
Or axes. I mean, there's always a new shape head, you know. So don't, just because something's been done before, there's always ways to innovate, and you know, innovation brings success.
Correct. Well, I appreciate you allowing me to come in and spend. I've done tied up your day. I didn't intend on spending this much time here with you today, but I wanted to get together with you to check this stuff out. And very cool, my viewers. You know, y'all can check Mike out. Like I said, his KeyBar's on everything: Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff like that. If you see something you like, hit him up for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is just something that I wanted to do, to come down here and check this out, because it's roughly around 500 miles for me to come down here.
I sure do appreciate you coming.
And to spend the time like this. So now, when I come to the Blade Show and stuff like that, you'll see me, you know, and
get it, yeah.
and all that. But man,
so hold on, what made you want to go around and show off people doing what they love? Because that's what I see from your videos. You showing people doing what they love, like, and that's what I do. The same thing you do.
Yeah. I do what I love, and I just want to share that with other people to make them understand that it can, in 2018, it can still be done.
That's right.
That's where I was going with that a while ago.
Yeah.
It can still be done. You worked out of your garage. You told me the figures a while ago, and I about freaked when you told me the figures. And what you've got here in the machinery, I mean, you've got
Thank you.
a lot tied up right here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Besides, you got, how many full-time people you got working here?
I think there's like 12 of us now, counting me and my wife. So
Wow.
it's pretty. I mean, I remember when I was at the hotel and I made that first one, and my boss was like, "Hey, we got to go show this to the owner of the hotel." And I walked in there and I showed it to him, and he was like, "You're gonna have 10 employees very soon." And I was like, "No, man, I don't want no employees." And it's pretty awesome. I'm able to give hardworking Americans a job doing something that lets them be creative and make stuff with their hands, which is awesome.
And see, I admired you. I wanted to put you in front of my people because of what I see in your stuff on Instagram and things like that. And I wanted to share that.
Awesome.
And your story needed to be out there.
Well, I appreciate it.
And I want other people like Mike. Wherever I got to go, I don't care.
Yep.
Wherever I got to go, to bring people like you out. Even though my platform is small, I consider it small, 50,000, something like that. But I can reach. I ship stuff worldwide.
Listen, man, it's content.
Right.
Like I said earlier, I learned how to run these machines from YouTube.
Yes.
And somebody may watch one of your videos and get inspiration to go make that one doodad that makes them $1 million. You know what I mean? So it's pretty awesome, man. And I appreciate what you're doing.
Yes.
And it's guys like this that support people like me that allow me to be able to do what I love to do. So.
Right. And that was the thing I told Mike in my first email. I said, I don't want anything from you. I said, I don't want anything free. I said, I just want to come in here and do a video with you. So Mike, you're not really familiar with all my videos, but all my videos, I try to end them, my sign-off slogan is later taters. So anytime I have somebody on, they have to do later taters for me.
All right, man.
And so we got to do it. You got some gusto, so we got to do some gusto. Right. And give me a good one and everything. We don't want no dud or anything like that. So I'm going to count to 3, and then you're going to do the later taters. All right, here we go. Appreciate all y'all watching. We'll catch y'all later. On 3, ready? 1, 2.
Later taters.
There we go.